Where can I watch me?
Uh,
That's the question
on
Shane
Facebook
asked.
and
Oh,
lawfulstupid.org.
just wait for it to pop up on your phone, like mine's getting ready to. Like, oh, are we live? Cool. I'm gonna watch myself live.
I'm already in.
Can't wait. Oh gosh. What is that noise? You guys.
What?
Devin has broken headphones. Is how the story ends.
It's coming. These we
Can
have
you
to
guys
rip.
hear me?
It's real soon.
Is it?
Yes.
It's not mine. Okay, great.
Yeah, no.
All right.
Story ends with Devin having broken headphones.
It's a good story.
There used to be a feature in this software where I would just grab a portion of the screen, and it appears I don't remember how to do that. That's not great. Excellent start, boys.
Hey, if we're not like 40 minutes late like last time we did this, we're good.
Yeah. Even if it's 35.
Hey, if we're not like 40 minutes late, like I think that we have the group assembled on time.
That's
It's a
true.
great
Shane is
feat.
not in his Odin sleep, so yes.
Shane's been up for a while. He's been ready for this.
I am the world's sleepiest boy.
Well, I mean, you didn't Odin sleep all day. You've been up for a while.
That is a
Octopath
shame.
Traveler, it's so good.
Is it?
No regrets.
Dude, that's super lame. I don't remember how to do this.
Because of all the Kingdom Hearts stuff Dwayne was talking about, I went back to my old Kingdom Hearts file on the
You have a
1.5
file?
remix that I bought. Yeah. And I was like, man, I'm only at like level 85. I still got stuff to do.
So I haven't beat Sephiroth yet.
Yeah, so I went and did that, and then I made the ultimate Keyblade, and like finished all the journal stuff, so it's 100% now. And
I remember how
so
to do this
boring now. Now what?
hell, now I have to go and finish up
Kingdom Hearts
Kingdom Hearts
2.5.
2.
And Birth by Sleep.
Yeah, and then Chain of
And by the
Memories,
time
'cause
you're
it's on
done-
there.
And then by the time you're done with that, Kingdom Hearts 3 will probably be
Dude.
out.
What are you talking about? I went from like 85 to 100, got the ultimate Keyblade and all this other stuff in like 3 hours.
Yeah, but that's in-game content. In-game content goes by quicker, like way quicker than fucking like the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
Just by matter of cutscenes.
that's true.
Well, I don't
was
know.
gonna be Steve McCool for this,
Without a
but I
doubt.
guess I'll just proceed back into my typical persona.
I just wanted to wear my Min-Max Mankind shirt.
Yeah, I was like, who's this weirdo that is like, oh, Shane, without glasses.
Steve McCool.
Fuck it.
Sometimes I pop my collar and take off my glasses, and I'm Steve McCool. Now I'm just gonna be Scott Shane.
It's not changed for all.
Well, I was gonna have this sweet overlay, but we're now fucking so far behind. We're just gonna do standard Skype.
Oh, gross.
Well, you know what? Fuck you. Like, dang it.
Welcome to Lawful Stupid's questions and
Fuck
answers.
you. It's our answer.
I ran out of time.
God, that'd be
You're
so
lucky
great. Just-
that it's online and also on our website. So,
I do appreciate that. Never forget that I'm appreciative.
oh,
matter what.
I don't. I just fucking didn't realize it was gonna be this hard of a deal just to get this shit going. All right. Let me.
I'm number 654 out of like 12,000 Orissas. I don't know what that means. I guess it's like for golds or something. I just want everyone to know that. Feels good.
Does it?
Been on it for a while.
Good
Oh,
job.
that is good. I'm impressed.
I'm impressed. I'm really proud of
Probably,
you.
probably not very good, but I like it. Top 70%, just like school.
I'm really proud of you.
We did it, Mom. We did it.
Do you also make sure that you use the little pulley orb, not just to pull people,
Oh.
but just to like stun them for that second? Throw them
Yeah,
off.
or like a Reaper when he's like, die, die, and I shoot a shield and pull him behind it, and I'm like, ah, ha, 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 during ult.
Now we're getting ready to dance. I'm behind the shield, but I'm behind it on this side. But I'm behind on this side.
Apparently this is
But
gonna
also
lag
pulling
my
him into-
computer,
into-
so-
holes is fun too.
Okay. All right. I'm about ready to go. Are you boyos ready to go?
Yeah.
I was born right
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Got that lion face.
And we will make this YouTube available. Oh, now it's got all these fancy fucking buttons. Fuck you, Facebook. Oh, I was going to do what is this? I think I might have just broke it. I think I broke the internet.
Please go look at Discord too.
Okay.
This picture's frozen in the Lawful Stupid website.
That's fine. Scott's the face of the podcast anyway.
I guess.
Didn't say it was a good face. Just it's a
Just
face.
the face, yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're basically gonna just for anybody who's listening live, you get the raw cut of this portion. Basically, we're just gonna do what we did last time, where it's like hey, we're gonna start, and then I will edit that for YouTube repost and re-upload to Facebook because fuck Facebook Live and all of its awesomeness.
Yeah, it turns out we're really not professional when we're live.
No, yeah, this is what the recordings look like every time. You don't see that because it all gets beautified with the magic of science and also magic. Okay, so we're gonna do what we always do, which is
Recapping? Last time on
yeah, except for I'm gonna do it because I don't want you guys doing the way you guys do it. So last time on Lawful Stupid, if you're listening to this episode, you by now know that Kristoff dies, and Atlas dies, and Rowan and Tringa have ran off together, and the demons are just doing whatever they want.
they're partying.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They're just partying on a boat somewhere. So now that we've gotten that out of the way,
Yeah, Taringa and I left on a literal ship.
now that we've gotten that out of the way, how are you guys doing?
This is a great podcast that I was glad to be a part of for such a long time. Thank you, everyone.
Mhm.
Thank you. I'd like to first thank Dwayne for putting all his time and effort into all but these last episodes because we're all done now. Yeah, good. I had football practice today and just ready to do some Q&A because we love our fans. All three of them that are listening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. And then, like, the billions that will listen in the future.
Bold.
Bold,
It's bold.
bold,
It is bold.
bold.
I refused to answer any questions that weren't posed by fans. So when you asked me how I'm doing,
No, that was posted by.
That was the first question. It was, hey, let's loosen everybody up, like, just by asking how they're doing. And now you've offended our fans.
You know, Dragon Bait asks us that quite often. Actually, everyone does every day.
Yeah, they're all so nice.
You take your
Yeah.
pick, Chainsaw. Who do you pretend that question's from?
Yeah, who are you alienating? Besides everyone.
all right, myself.
Oh, close.
Pew! Just Chainsaw's disconnected from the call.
Super good. Okay, so we have some questions, and you guys will have some answers.
Oh, you hope we have answers.
Your pick, Chainsaw.
I do hope you have answers. So, that being said, I'm going to ask you boyos the first question.
Ready.
Are you ready? Shane's like face, like I'm like trying to keep
No
everything
smiles.
fucking together on this other monitor, and I can like just see out of the corner of my eye his face.
Just inching closer to the screen.
I'm ready. Ask me.
Play it cool, play it cool,
Okay.
play it cool.
Okay, well, I'm getting there, but you realize, you know what? Life's hard. All right, so first question, and the question was submitted by. Okay.
Beef stew, 1, 2, 3.
Craft.tabletop.stories from Instagram.
Crafty, yeah.
Oh, crackers.
The question is, do you think of yourselves as more lawful or more stupid?
Too easy. That's stupid.
Stupid for sure. I don't think we've done anything super lawful.
Are you asking Christoph Shindo or are you asking Scott Shane? Either way, the answer is lawful.
Take that, other boyos. You guys are the stupid ones of the group, and Christoph is the morality and the lawfulness, and he's just a podcast.
Well, I'm not making it all about me.
If you rearrange the letters of Lawful Stupid, it actually changes to Christoph. He does that and like he just erases it, and he's like, "See, told you."
Yep. Got him.
Tom Riddle, I am Lord Voldemort moment.
Yeah. That's exactly how I see that going. Or almost maybe like an eraser moment, like it's written on chalk somewhere. He just like erases it and rewrites it.
The Christoph Shindo story.
Yeah, the Christoph Shindo story. Yeah.
I'd read that.
That's what you get if you rearrange all the words and letters
In Lawful
secrets to Lawful Stupid Dungeons & Dragons 5e.
As told by the Arcane Wars.
Yep.
That's
right.
Arcane Wars. Also, Christoph Shindo in
See also.
parentheses.
I definitely think of myself as more stupid for sure. Like I don't even play lawful characters by default. Usually, it's usually chaotic of some degree because I'm gonna do something dumb at some point. Especially when posed with morality issues and werewolves. Like, don't have a lot of whole morality things going on when werewolves on the table.
That's why just go easy and pick neutral, and then you never have to have any reasons for anything.
You never
This is true.
just do things whenever you want to.
Yeah, I don't think when it comes to alignment, I don't think that like it's as important in 5e because at the end of the day, like your character is gonna be whatever your character's gonna be, like however you're gonna choose to play them to their story, and like there's no real like meaning behind the alignment at this point.
If Old Man Chainsaw can take you back for a minute, back in 3.5, there were like a bunch of specific. There were a bunch of like specific feats and a bunch of specific, abilities and prestige classes, which were a big thing back in the day. Prestige classes that were only available to you based on your alignment. So DMs had to like hard monitor what their players were doing to ensure they were staying true to their alignment. Because if their actions started to diverge from their alignment, you would shift their alignment and then
Punish them.
You wouldn't punish them. You'd just be like, okay, well, you started the game as true neutral. Turns out you've been burning down a lot of farmhouses, so you're chaotic evil now, dog. Like, that's just the way that it is. And then you would take that shift, and then for, like, a lot of times that would, like, seriously affect you. Like, for example, if you were a cleric and you strayed from the domain alignment that your deity was, you would be like, all right, now your god has lost favor in you, and you don't have any spells anymore, so good luck.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
I mean, I don't know. That sounds very interesting for sure. Like, I could see that being a pretty cool mechanic. But also, like, very frustrating to deal with over time.
It's just one more thing for a DM to deal with, honestly.
What's funny is what you did say there that I really liked was Devin said, oh, and just punish them. And I just immediately think of my kids because I'm like, oh, I don't punish you. I just provide consequences for your actions. So that's what being a DM is. Like, I'm just providing consequences for your actions.
Dad?
Sometimes those are like positive consequences. Sometimes they're negative.
Sometimes you all die in your podcast you've been recording for 30 episodes.
I mainly blame this on Shane's alt fever. Like, we've all decided that was the reason why it was time to end this story. Right? Like, Shane was ready to make new characters. We also notoriously can't make it past level 5, so it's like good that we're here. Like,
so true.
I think the furthest we made it was level 8.
Hey, I mean, we could make it further if somebody would hand out experience points ever in their life.
You know,
he gave us 1750 last.
He did just give us a bunch.
We did. We just got a whole bunch.
I actually thought about that
20
and was gonna just randomly hand them out for like good deeds, like outside of the podcast, and then I forgot to do it. But
so
it's
let's
on
do it now.
Like, no, it's on the plate. Yeah, it is. It's on the plate for things to do.
Let's eat. I'm hungry.
No.
Give me that plate.
No,
I'm a delicious
I
XP.
think you're still,
Mama.
Ex pasta.
XP meatball.
Expine pasta.
Expine pasta.
That is super good.
Super proud of that joke.
Okay.
By that.
So the next question we have is from Small Adventure 28 on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And
No.
this question is very important. It says, would you rather fight 100 Kobo-sized hydras or one hydra-sized kobolds? Kobold.
Yeah, this is just a variant of the old duck horses question, right? And we all know the answer to that.
I don't. Tell me. Did you say duck horses?
Yeah, so the old question is,
Horse-sized duck.
would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Fight the one. To me, it just makes sense.
You fight the one.
You fight the one. Yeah.
Well, especially because the one, you're switching the Hydra and the Kobolds, because Kobolds don't regrow heads and shit. Hydras do.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take that 3 heads times 100, that's 300 heads you're dealing with. And that problem's just going to get multiplication real fast, and we're not good at math.
We just beat their puzzle. We just did it. Well, give us some XP, Dwayne.
Yeah, Dwayne gets
We just logicked our way.
That's
We
true.
just used
Solid
logic
for Hydra.
on a hypothetical question.
Yeah.
You guys can give us 1 XP. I know it. I just know it. To
That's
share.
okay, we're getting that. Yeah, you all share one.
I take the whole thing and I don't share.
All right, the next question is, what happened to the fish Rowan stole in episode 1?
It is still in his pocket.
So I can't get a date.
Smells terrible.
So for the record, I have no concept of how much time has passed between like episode 1 and 30. It could be like 2 weeks. Like it's not a great smell no matter what. But
Well, it's at least 2 because we had to travel to Riverside, which is like a 3 or 4 day travel. We stayed there for a day, came back. So it's at least like I want to say a month.
I mean,
Probably around a
probably
month's
more.
worth.
Yeah,
in my head.
it's not smelling great. It's really just the point to like drive home, right? Like, I don't think no matter what you discuss here, for how long the podcast has been going, I think just a day, right? Like, and that fish isn't smelling great. Like, there's no refrigeration.
Like the second it went in the pocket, I'm sure was not great.
Yeah.
Fish don't smell good.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, it's true.
I feel like one of 2 things is going to happen from this point because of that fish. One, we're either going to like as characters call it out and then be like, "Yeah, gosh, what does that smell?" Or we're going to be sneaking into a place, need to be real stealthy, and Dwayne's going to be like, "Suddenly the guard smells something that smells terrible," and they follow the scent to you guys, even though you rolled stealth.
I'm just trying to
all
think about
points.
like the life that we've led since that fish went into his pocket, and there has had to have been some scenario in which that fish no longer exists, right? Like he channeled the loot energy through the pedestal, and just like so many things have happened, just cause whole bodily damage, fireballs and thunder waves, and there's no way that fish conceivably survived to this point. That
No, it
fish is
hasn't.
like it is one herringbone.
Like honestly, I was just like, he ate it, but that's not as interesting of an answer. What else are you gonna do with a fish?
That's
Maybe he was on the road one day and he slapped it in between a hard biscuit and went to town.
That, or maybe he just like tried to put it in a cup of water and bring it back, but failed.
He loves that fish.
I feel like Rowan, as a trickster man, has his pockets full of salt, so he can throw them in his adversary's eyes. But also, it just cured the shit
Preserving
out of
the fish, yeah. You're doing a real good job. It's still like flopping around in there. It's like just massaging his thigh.
that fish. No, I
no,
don't
it's
think that's.
dead. I
what
think it
was
was
just-
dead
I'm
when he
talking
picked
about.
it up.
It's
Yeah,
dead?
Yeah, dude, he picked it
Yeah.
up.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
It's a fish market.
Peter, no!
no, this is terrible. This is the worst thing I've heard all day.
You were a good person, Rowan. I thought you were a good person.
I didn't
Suffocated
kill
in
it.
Your pocket.
The fish. I mean, like the fish started dead. I think that was like the gift.
They were just laying out. They don't just lay out on those tables. Like,
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
need
dead.
water to breathe, my dude. If they're laying out on the table,
They
that means
lay
they're no
out
longer-
dead.
Yeah, they
Do you
they
not
ain't
understand how
moving.
fish bunkers
is
work?
he being Atlas or is he being Devin? Who knows?
Devin confirmed. Atlas would have got this. He's in the shops all the time.
He knows.
Yeah, I'm sure Atlas ate a fish once.
Never. We're anti-fish people.
Who's we, man? You
I'm
shouldn't
kidding.
throw we
man.
around like that.
It's good. I'm confusing myself with my character now.
You guys didn't see that?
I did not.
Heather, Alex's wife, is just crawling in the background of the shot, but she did a really bad job.
No, I missed that.
Yeah,
Can she just do that one more time for everybody?
I'm sure she will.
That's funny.
There's a lost earring.
This is gonna make a really good audio podcast, and when we release it, it's gonna be great.
Huge.
Okay, so the next one is from Brandon German. That is his name, Brandon German. Confirmed. I did not mess it up. And his question is, have you guys ever used virtual tabletop software? And if so, how did you enjoy it?
We've used Roll20 in the past.
Oh yeah, we did.
We did use Roll20. I can answer that question. I did not enjoy it. I don't think we've ever used it so successfully and like ever took time to like work on it for it to be like what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I've never put the effort in, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not an artist, so it's like just another piece of work for me to do. Is what it comes
I really
down to.
enjoy the theater of the mind style of play, where everything is just kind of like in our imaginations in our heads. And when you put that onto a table and you put that onto a board or a virtual landscape like Roll20, it really just, I feel like it's tethers that you don't need necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, when we played, it devolved into us just doodling stuff on the map.
Yeah, we mostly
Yes,
just drew
for
dicks.
sure.
Yeah,
We could be. I drew dicks the whole time.
Yeah, it was.
Alex would draw dicks,
weird
laughing
adventure.
on top of each other's dicks.
it was very much a dick farm.
It was a dick farm.
I
But-
did not draw those.
But you only crop his dicks.
I kept trying to like color over them to get them out of there, and they just kept redrawing them in places, and it just was just drawn over map. So then it was not D&D. It was
It was D&D. Both
it
these
was
dudes
D
were
Wars.
dicks.
It was like a really weird version of the Superbad movie. Is what it turned
Kind of.
into.
Actually, I think we did try to recreate one of those. I think we tried to recreate the one where it's riding the bomb.
No, we tried to do the cowboy one.
Yeah, because it's
No,
wearing
I
a
mean,
cowboy hat.
Of course,
running the
it's
bomb.
Cowboy one, right? Like,
All of
there's-
Dr. Strangelove.
there's
Okay,
no other
fair.
options. Okay, so next question.
You asked. That should be the name of this. Lawful Stupid
You
Q&A.
asked.
You asked.
That just became the episode name.
Oh, jeez, these poor listeners. Our feedback is going to be maybe just stick to the podcast. Like, yeah,
Oh,
just
for
the
sure.
podcast.
Maybe don't do that
Yeah,
anymore.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
don't do that again ever. Back
How
to
do
Rita.
I stop being a patron? Is the next
Yeah.
question.
Can I just? Where's the unsubscribe? I need that twice over. So the next question is, what is one thing you would change about each other's characters?
I'll let you guys go first.
Oof, a shit
So I can
for
know
everything about
how mean
Kristoff.
I'm gonna be.
I wish he was mute. No. I don't know. Go ahead, Alex. I don't know that I really ever.
Oh god,
I never
never
really thought
considered
about your
that.
characters. Is what he was.
I just
gonna say.
accept them for who they are. I mean, I guess if we want to like make this interesting, we can find something. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, if you want to
Shane has
answer the
stronger
question
opinions.
people were asked. No,
that's
I don't want to
true.
answer that. That's hard pass.
Well, I think the hard thing is like, I would want to change a good aspect, right? Because like I like their negative aspects. That's what makes the characters have depth. Or I could just change one bad habit to another.
Mm.
So
If I could change one thing about Atlas, it would be
Do it.
him not being a fucking coward. And anytime a fight gets even remotely difficult, I'm just going like, "We gotta leave, guys!" That would change that. That would be the thing that I would change. He would be a barbarian who rages and embraced combat, and would be very, much about that life.
All right.
And that would be
Here we
the thing
go.
that I would change.
the gloves are off.
If I could change one thing about Rowan, it'd be that there's only one of them.
You would make him none? You would kill him?
No, there should be two of them. I think that Rowan needs a small sidekick, a la Short Round, who
Short
goes
Round?
with him on adventures and is a tiny Rowan. That's what I think. No, if I could change one thing about Rowan, it would probably be he's kind of got like a laissez-faire attitude. He's kind of happy-go-lucky. I wish he had more like hard stances on things. Because as he is now, he kind of just goes with the flow, and whatever strong opinions that maybe Kristoff or Atlas or the NPCs have. But I feel like him drawing some lines in the sand for himself would be pretty interesting. Those are the things that I would change.
All right, boys. Now it's your turn. Atlas, what would you change about your two cohorts?
Yeah, I think Rowan, he could be. Yeah, I think that was a good one but I think he could be more open too. I think that probably goes back into what Shane just said, but being more opinionated. Like, if, for example, in the first or second episode, yeah, when he got onto Craig and was just like letting him have it, I'd love to see more of that, like in your face. I know what I'm talking about stuff. Much like Kristoff, and maybe less from Kristoff. Maybe less talking from Kristoff.
Is that it? Just don't talk so much.
But see, I don't know if I'm talking, like, if this is Atlas talking if it's Atlas, like, as Atlas about Kristoff, I'd be like, I just wish you'd shut up sometimes. Like, that's just... I do love a good Arcane War story, though.
Yeah, I'm big on that. I like the Arcane War stories. That's probably one of my favorite bits of the podcast. Like, it's like anything comes up from the Arcane Wars, which is like largely undescribed and vague, and he's from like session 0 that has been a Kristoff trait. Like, oh, let me tell you, and that's probably one of my most favorite pieces of this podcast so far.
What would we change about Dwayne?
Oh no, I'm not prepared for this.
That wasn't the question.
That was not the question.
I'm not prepared for
Somebody
this.
has to ask it quick.
Rowan has to answer the initial
Rowan,
question.
yeah, come on.
I was also thinking.
I'm just trying to get out of this. Don't let him.
I don't want to.
I was trying to get out of it.
Wow, I can't take it.
I mean, character-wise, I think it works so well just because, like, I love that Kristoff talks so much because, like, Atlas doesn't. And Atlas is good, and Kristoff kind of isn't exactly. It's very self-certain. So, like, there's a balance there, and I kind of like the way. So, if anything, I would probably change Atlas from a barbarian to something else. I would like a druid. I'd love to see Atlas, like, as a druid and how you would play that out instead of being all rage-driven, but to be a hippie.
I mean, I think that would be closer in line to his playstyle. So, I've now seen rage used to run towards somebody and run away from somebody. I just don't see in combat a lot.
It's exactly as we clarified in
it's in combat a lot.
27, I believe. This isn't rage mode. This is fear mode. It's adrenaline.
We should put that to a freaking vote. Go listen to the episode. So, Dwayne, and you have to back me up because you've said it several times. I give you guys so many clues that this battle is gonna be too hard for you. I just do. And so he's like, but you're grown men, you get to make your choices. And so when you're hiding in bushes and Rowan is down,
it's called guerrilla warfare, my dog.
It's hit and run tactics.
Okay, but our power level's over 9,000. We're level 3 or 4 at that time. Cannot win. Like Dwayne is making that point. Like she's going to do something drastic. We may not die, but he's going to make a point, and we're going to be beat. And then she's still going to come around. So it was me saying, hey, we don't have to suffer through this and be humiliated when I know that we can't win. It's
right.
The battle.
So let's talk about that. You, Devin, no, you can't win, right? Not you, Atlas. So like
they're one and the same. We've already talked. They're the same.
So it's like that's a little bit of metagaming. And while I did like give you hints to like establish like her seriousness, at the end of the day, like that's hints to say like this is gonna be real bad. Like but it's no different than you want like I'm gonna leap the castle. Okay, go like the 100-foot castle. Yeah, that one. I mean, like, do your thing, live your dream. Like, anything's possible in this fantasy game, but, like...
Well, and I was playing from a place of... So I'm trying to be... I think Atlas is more passive in situations, unless he's, like, dedicated to a thing. And I feel like he is dedicated to Kristoff and Rowan, but in a particular situation, it seemed futile to fight against it. And so we could just, like, send this person away and lie to them or whatever. And then if it came to it next time, she was trying to like actually attack us before we attacked her. I'm in. I'm going to help fight because it's warranted. But you wanted to fight simply because she said, you have to do this thing. And I'm just like, okay, so we don't have, okay, great, whatever. We'll do the thing. No, we won't.
Yeah,
No,
that's go ahead.
So here's the thing. She said, you're going to do this thing. She presented us with conflict. She said, you're going to do this thing, or I'm going to take the loot. Which means the next time we see her, she's going to take the loot. She's going to be ready. And we're not going to give her the loot, so we're going to fight then. So what I did instead was I seized the initiative by doing a preemptive attack when she wasn't expecting it, giving us the best chance to neutralize the threat when it was the least threatening.
Those are some good words.
What you did was leave.
Yeah, how did you? So you're saying I would have turned the tides of battle, me alone. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
I do not believe that would have been the case.
I think that
if you don't realize, your attacks, I think, are doing much more damage than mine are at this point in time, even.
Yeah, but what I was doing was I was concentrating on restraining her. So between me restraining her, Rowan backing us up, and you going in there and being the heavy hitter, we would have been okay. And I think we could have done it. I think we could have done it, dude.
You're a dreamer, and I don't let you do that. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
I will say this: you would have had a better chance with all of you. Right? Like, just like mathematically, you would have had one more body fighting.
Throw us out a percentage, like probability.
I'm not really good with. I calculated the risks, and I'm bad at math.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There is a chance. There's always a chance. I'm never gonna put you in 100% fail scenarios. That's fucked up. That's like when a game does that, or especially like in a game when it's like the first level, and it's like, oh, I fucking had to lose here. But you don't know that, so you're fighting for your life. And
you're burning all your items. And
I fucking hate that. Hate that. Anyways.
So in Chio, next episode, if there's a time that it comes up, I, Atlas Farrier, will give to Christoph Shindo a coupon that says, if I'm ever not doing something you want me to do, here's your one chance to burn it. And I'll be like, I owe you this debt, my friend.
Okay, sure. It's too late to apologize. But Alex, you have not said what you would change about Christoph Shindo. We all agree that Devin's a bad barbarian. He should be a different class. But
Christoph's going to be a different race.
Oh yeah, you don't like you.
He's going to be a stout halfling.
Oh. Oh no!
Suddenly, you're not nearly as attractive.
I do not like it. I do not want it.
Oh. I would just love to see that charm and vigor come from a stout halfling.
Well, then he would be from a land where all the halflings came from, right? That changes a lot.
Munchkin land.
Yeah.
The land of Oz.
That's right.
He was a high-ranking member in the Lollipop Guild.
Out for blood.
You didn't know that? The Lollipop Guild is like
well,
the
thank
most renowned
God
guild?
Alex doesn't actually have the power to implement these changes.
Yeah.
Thank God he doesn't. Anyway, so next place we're going is we're going to follow that yellow brick road.
Oh, the fucking segue.
Transition, yes.
So next question is really just a second part of the one we just talked about. What is something you would change about your own character?
If I could, well, it's so hard. That is such a big question for me because, like, something I've changed about my own character, everything, and I would roll a new character because I have all three. But about Christoph specifically and his character traits, and not like D&D class stuff. Big thing I would change about Christoph would probably be. I would want, if I was doing it all over again, I would want Christoph to be more of a serious character. So that's how he started out, was with kind of this tragic backstory and all these different things. And like I had a very much like defined path for him. And then it fell to shit episode 1 when I wanted to make jokes instead, and make him like an alcoholic and do all these things. If I were doing it all again, I would maybe. I would make Christoph just very depressed, and maybe he'd be like an Eeyore, maybe like, okay, guess I'm a
ghost. Voice and everything.
Yeah, with that voice.
That's from the Arcade Wars, I guess.
Yeah, I would.
Who knows? And why even try to guess?
Just like that history, no one will remember us when we're gone.
Yep.
You just need to do like a short OVA series of the first 5 episodes where you're just like that.
Yeah.
There's an episode of the Winnie the Pooh where Eeyore like literally just every time he builds a house, like they knock it down, and that's what that reminds me of. Just because like they do that like 4 times, because why?
Dude, I remember
build
that
it
one.
again?
It takes him forever.
Yep.
Every time he shows like the last plank in.
Mhm.
Goosh.
Dude, I think you're talking about every episode of Winnie the Pooh. I think that was a recurring theme.
No,
Nah.
it's just that one episode where he's like building his home, and just everything happens.
To be fair, it's not
Usually
very structurally sound, so.
It's
mean-
like sticks. It's like stick. It's like a stick teepee.
Listen, they're animals. They're stuffed animals in the woods. Okay, like Rabbit lives underground and is constantly like Pooh's getting stuck in this fucking like tree. Like, yeah, man. I think they got bigger problems than Eeyore's structurally sound house, which really just feeds back to Eeyore's problems, right?
No.
Nobody cares.
Okay, so this is the start of our new podcast where we really dissect Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the
animated
Pooh.
series.
Yeah,
Have
man.
any of you read The Tao of Pooh?
Of course.
Have not. Will
Well,
not.
you should. It's
I'm not will not.
enlightening.
It will. It'll change your life.
It sounds
It's
like,
like
a
Rich Man-
religious
it's like Rich Dad,
text,
Poor Dad.
and I only read my own religious text that
It's
I
like
make
Rich Dad.
in Goron. Okay, so
Rowan, what would you change about yourself?
I think I'd wear more purple instead of red.
Bold.
Yeah. Kristoff would also wear more purple.
Yeah.
Rowan would. Atlas would also wear more purple.
so
Copies.
he would just have like a loincloth that is now purple instead
Yes.
of brown.
I
Right?
just, honestly,
Like a
every
purple
time
cheetah.
I think about stuff that I'd want to change about Rowan is I just want him to be Prince.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're talking about the artist formerly known as Prince, not
Yeah.
not a royal title.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
not
no,
a prince.
I
the
forget. No,
prince.
sorry. Whenever I think of Prince, it's like
But everybody just
Prince.
assume, yeah, they know, right? Like Yeah.
he's Prince.
it would have been better if you just like showed a symbol, right? You just like that's what you just pull it up.
It's just a
sheet.
hand
If
gesture.
he was, and you pull up the Prince symbol,
Yeah.
and you never say
mean
the
the
Yeah,
word.
you
love
don't even say the
symbol,
words.
just-
Yeah.
You have a placard.
I think I wish Atlas had more of a like a darker side or something about him. What I don't know, some secret, just something that made him more than just like good. This good, great, awesome, good figure.
I can tell
maybe he
you
does.
that he does have a dark side. He watched his buddies get beat up real bad.
I quit this podcast. We're done here. We're taking applications for Atlas. It's not hard. Talk like a dumb hick. And
and
you're
watch
in.
people die. It's great.
No, not a
Do
dumb
nothing
hick.
else.
You talk like Foghorn Leghorn elegantly.
I say, yeah, elegantly.
You sound like
See?
a southern plantation owner.
Yeah, so let's talk about that.
I do declare this lemonade is so fine.
The first time we played D&D together, and we were like, okay, so like let's use character voices. Devin breaks out his Atlas voice just with southern plantation owner, right? And so we're like, okay, cool, that's in his bag. He can do that. And then we play new characters, and it's the same voice.
It works for
character's
everyone.
cousin.
Yeah, but it's such
Everyone
a,
loves
it's such
Matt.
a good voice.
I know they're like, hey, he seems like he's very approachable,
Yeah.
no matter
Yeah.
what race he is.
I think
Yeah,
Well,
it's
what it
endearing.
does to other races. Yeah, no, I get it.
But we never published those episodes, so this is the first time the public has heard the Atlas voice. The problem is that when he has to roll a new character for the podcast,
That's true.
either when we do a new
Oh,
season or like when
Yeah.
Alice dies a peasant's death
Well,
or whatever.
I mean, episode 30, season 2, right? Clearly,
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
established everybody dies. Like,
Yeah, so he's gonna have to roll a new character, and he's gonna pull out the same voice, and everybody's gonna know he's cheap.
So I played these Dragonborn twins. One was one campaign, and I was like, I'm just gonna play. It was Drogo and Chauncey Darrington. So I just
Chauncey.
they're twins, and so they speak the same, and it just happens to be this
That's
voice.
right. I forgot his name was Chauncey. That's awesome.
I did.
If you ever roll another character, you should just name it Colonel Foghorn.
But
Just
use
like-
a different voice. Everyone's expecting.
Yeah, but
this
use a
voice.
different voice.
And you're like,
Hello.
I would not listen to that podcast.
He
Like,
Oh,
I
this
would,
was
you
well.
guys
another
could be
voice
great,
one.
and then I would be the last part going hello, and then immediately just cut it off. You wouldn't even get time to say the whole word.
Devin does have another voice. I forgot about Sigmund's voice,
Oh yeah.
which is just, all right then,
All
let's
right.
get down to business, governor.
And
I never
defeat
say
the
governor.
Huns.
Like, so let's talk about that. Another thing that consistently happens in the podcast that I still have not broken, and it's not the gender thing. I fucked that up and will always fuck that up. It's the ability to not say "you're making your way."
I love it.
And like,
Okay. Is this the time, boys?
I like
Is this
hard
when we do it?
stopped one episode.
I got one yes. Alex,
Oh no,
I'll respect your wishes, Alex.
I don't like this at all.
I don't want it to be like the How I Met Your Mother episode where just like the window breaks.
Yeah.
Because
All right,
if we
the
if we
next question.
talk about it, it'll be conscious and then it won't be as good.
Okay.
This is the fun part about being the only DM. All right.
Your voice.
Yep.
I
So
guess I'm a ghost.
those two questions were from Dragon, actually. Both of those.
Oh, yes.
Yep. Yeah, you've done good with that question.
You
Okay.
do well.
You do well.
I wish our answers were half as good as the questions,
That's true.
or half as on topic.
You guys really you know what? That's what we're gonna do. I'm the host. You guys are just providing poor content. I'm asking what the people want. So the next question is, how did all of you come up with your characters, or did they just evolve along the way?
So I anyone else can talk first. I know I talk too much.
Oh, you can't. Mine's super not interesting.
I don't know that mine is definitely not well thought out as Christos for sure. I knew that I wanted a big boy. I wanted a brawler. As far as the story, I feel like I always, for me, like, and they'll attest, like, every time I create a character, I always want someone who has, like, this secret, like, cool setup in it. Like, Milo, I think, was the guy who had, like, this ship and this like, horse thing. And
No, that was
Dwayne was like, bro, you're not getting a ship.
No,
like,
that was with Shane. Like Shane was
Yeah.
the GM.
Sigmund.
Yeah, he's
that
like, you're
was
not getting a ship, and there's no horse you have that's coming to your aid ever.
Yeah, you had a
So-
magical horse given to you by Poseidon that would come to you on the land or the sea to save you whenever you're in danger. Like, I would like to start with that at level 1, please.
Can I have
I'm
that
like, yeah,
legendary
but what
item?
happened? Please.
It's
I
part of
had
the
to wait till
backstory.
I had to wait till level 5 to get that as a paladin. I'm pretty sure it was a class feature.
But the story, I just wanted the blacksmith portion of it is what I really wanted to go into, and I figured like being a full orc, and so Dwayne allowed me to do that because typically it's a half orc thing. So yeah, and then how do I get to that was I wanted him to like be in just regular world, not with orcs in that world, but in the like the human world, the elf, with all the other races and stuff that are existing. Typically, people hate orcs. And so I feel like that was going to be kind of a good mix. The backstory there is, when he's raised in Riverside, he's hidden from the rest of the town by Henry and Teresa, kind of because people hate orcs, whether that was from because there were a lot of orc raids or whatever might have happened, but people hated orcs. And so Henry took me in despite that. And then the people find out and sort of kick me out of the town. And so that's why I make my way to Oxbane. And that's where, I've learned the forge and smithing from Henry and kind of continue that on in Oxbane before going to college. So that all just kind of went on from I just want to be a blacksmith and how do I get there? And that's basically how I got my story.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. I have two things I want to respond to that with. First being, so Corin is my son. Corin is 9, and he's not old enough to listen to our podcast for several reasons. But he absolutely is old enough to read the comics that Frumple makes. And first of all, Frumple, you did great work because my 9-year-old absolutely loves it. He thinks he thinks they're super funny. Cool. They're really well drawn, and so he like walks in and goes, "Listen, I like the comics, Dad, but here's the problem. Atlas is a half orc, and that's clearly a full orc. We got a problem." And I look at him, I was like, well, the problem is with you, because he's a full orc.
Slap!
And he was like, well, but you can't be that. I looked in the handbook, and I'm like,
You're like, Bolo's got the monsters,
Yep.
motherfucker! And
Yep.
you threw it at him.
yeah. I threw the digital file at him. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, it's fucking hilarious. And the other thing is, so we talk about Atlas, like when he makes, or Devin, when he makes his background, he like makes them with like a castle or some feet. Like he's like, all right, so I'm gonna be Atlas, and the starter town we're in, I just have a blacksmith shop, and like I just have that, and it makes me money. Like, and I sold it to Yard. I was like, no, that's like, it's like not how that's gonna work.
I know that you're supposed to start like level 1. You know, these guys can have a beginning journey, but I feel like every D&D character is just like a loser until you become them and make them better. Everyone's just like,
yeah, I mean, you have a different, like, there's always got to be a fall if you start at level 1, right? Like, whether you're like rich and powerful or this crazy mage, like, you have to have a dip. Otherwise, it's like, all right, let's play D&D. Yeah, I'm just like a level 20 warlock. There's really nowhere else to go.
You do that?
I'm like all powerful.
Yeah.
Everyone knows,
Well,
like,
yeah, and so the way that we fixed that was Dwayne was like, let's say you had a shop, but then I ended up going to this battle university, you know, to I wanted, you know, adventure, but I've never been able to do that because I've been hidden away working in the Black's, you know, forge, and the weapons I make, you know, they get to travel, I don't, and so I crave that. So I go to this school, hopefully learning some skills that will present an opportunity, and I'm now just working at the forge, and that's just kind of what's happening. So I'm back to the same life. I have a new set of skills, but not a lot's going on, and that's pretty much where Alice is coming from.
Which I loved it. Like, that was your whole bag. You even like made this like certificate that I'm in the Smithers Guild, and then we go to these guild choices. You're like, oh, I'm definitely not doing the anvil thing. No, why would I do that? Like,
I
what?
Guilds necessary.
Do you not remember when you were like, we were choosing guilds?
Pick a guild, any guild was the name of the episode.
Yep,
and
and
it's
you were
okay,
like,
here's the Smith Guild, and you were like, yeah, I'm already a smith. And you're like, yeah, you'd be able to like start off at like higher than like an apprentice. Like you'd have more credit towards the guild because you're already renowned. And you were like, what else is there?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like to keep my options open, right?
Yeah, and I think that just like furthermore like drives in the point that you only make shovels, right? Like you were never interested in it in the first place. You left to go to battle school. You join a different guild. You're like, I got these shovels down pat. Everything else.
I made some caltrops.
Oh yeah, some caltrops.
He did.
Too. That's right. Everybody was impressed by it. All right. So yeah, so that's how you made your characters, and obviously they're evolving along the way. And so I'm gonna like modify.
Literally only Devin answered.
Yeah, no, it's like next.
Oh shit! All right, next.
Literally only. Alex, go ahead.
See, I was very simple in that I just made a character that had high charisma and high dexterity. Because I can do anything I want with high dexterity and high charisma. And then so I made that, and I was like, okay. And then I leaned toward Bard. And in the background that I wanted to get proficiencies that I wanted. And then I seriously just made his backstory based on that. And tried to pack as many like inside jokes and little things in there, but not have like a tragic backstory. Like I just wanted him to be a guy that made choices. Some of them bad, some of them good, but like nothing bad happened to him. He just did things because I didn't want to have a tragic backstory.
That's fair.
That's
So I will
much
say,
what I did.
on your character evolution, it originally had a different backstory than we ended up making final.
Only like slightly.
No, I think it's pretty different, right? One of your core feats or your core things was like you were searching for another muse, right? Because like that muse, like your other muse, like left you so empty, and it ended up being a little bit different than that. Like you, after, yeah, I mean,
well,
we
it wasn't really left empty. It's just it's basically the same thing. Like it's pretty much the same thing. It's just calling it a different name.
I don't know. I just feel like after like exploring it, it feels differently than what I initially thought it was. But it is what it is.
Me too, because I thought you were going to be like, there's a woman. I thought came to like one of those things where like the woman you know, this woman you loved, and she's like the most amazing thing. just disappeared, whether it's because of her own volition or
Right.
whatever, and now you're searching for her, and you think, I don't know, that's what I thought.
I never thought Rowan's muse was a woman. Am I the only one who didn't think it was a woman?
Well, but the way he made it seem also with his writings was that maybe it wasn't a woman, but something that would give him that same, I don't know,
Yeah, I
vigor
always
or
thought it
life.
was like a wanderlust. Like he's going around looking for inspiration, looking for his muse, looking for
Yeah,
the next
I
thing to
can see that
inspire him
too.
to
Yeah.
create. Was how I looked at it.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was. Like the first was the Rosalind and the backstory, but it wasn't any kind of like romantic thing other than like that was a person that became a friend and became more than that. But like that relationship gave him inspiration to write music, and then once that kind of ran its course, it's just a dead husk, and you needed to find something else.
Like people.
Yeah, like
You
people.
use them until they're not valuable anymore, then you leave them behind as a dead husk.
You know.
Like
like a
people.
sociopath.
Yeah, I'm
Never
just
said
like
Rowan was a good guy.
yeah, I'm just like looking at the original backstory that you gave me because that's in my notes.
It was
That should
very
be
much
extra content.
in first person. Yeah, I wrote mine as a first person narrative.
He did, and like I'm looking at all the negative things he says about that character and his backstory. Christoph.
Yes. No. So, Kristoff, I was created because I had never played a sorcerer before in 5e because they honestly on paper look bad. In play, it turns out they're bad. Dearest Wizards of the Coast make sorcerers good. I have one level in sorcerer, and the rest of them are other things because it's not good. But I like the idea of. I really like the draconic heritage of the sorcerer class. I like that as a theme, and that's like where the magic comes from. Is this draconic ancestor? You've got these scales, you've got this kind of thing, and I really like that being instead of like, oh, he's got this is where he gets his power from. It being more of a curse, and so I thought, well, okay, well, how is this going to be a curse? And so I thought, initially my first thought was to have him be like an Asmir, and then have like a like black dragon scales or something that or like this bane, this curse that everybody looked upon negatively. And I kind of went the opposite direction with it. Was I put him in a room or a town or kingdom of people who had an infernal ancestry, and then gave him a lawful good dragon to show also as a mark to merge kind of like this heritage that they thought was very good and very something to be proud of. I took that to the nth degree by making him a noble. Used that as an excuse to have him ousted from that, so he didn't start off with like a kingdom or a chip or like his own blacksmith.
Missing out.
And kind of set him on his way.
Yeah, because I know you and me both actually like kind of have histories for where we're from.
Yeah,
because we're the only ones not from Oxbane. Or
I'm not from Oxbane either. I don't know where I came from. Thanks for bringing it up.
Sorry, I didn't know you were so sensitive about it.
And then every
I'm
time
from
I see a white
Orkbane.
orc, it's like
That's
his dad. Yeah.
That's his dad.
Well, to be fair, it was a white orc from the past with his weapon in his hand. It wasn't
We still
just
don't know how I got
another
that.
white orc.
So that's super. I still wonder about that as Devin and as Atlas.
It's good.
Look at the stars and I think, is my dad looking at those same stars?
Yeah.
Is he spinning
Did
the
we
axe
kill
over
my
his
dad?
head?
He's too old. He's
Did we
dead
kill
now.
my dad? Did Madman Spawn fucking gut my papa?
Did I help?
Do I have two willows? Do I have two willows?
No.
Dang, can I spin both of them? Let them both
No,
dance?
you can barely spin one.
Click, 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 click,
You
click,
can
click,
spin
click.
two.
He says, no, you can barely spin one.
Yep.
Yeah, you can handle tandem rotor.
Because I can't forge the wood, I'm just like, I'll just tape them up and then I'll just spin that
Then it falls
like a
apart
pizza pie.
So
immediately.
that
One axe falling at Rowan.
Kills both your characters. All fever. New characters.
Dude, fucking spoilers. Now we know how episode 30 ends.
Damn it. I already gave them so many spoilers.
So the other question is from Small Adventure 28, and
yes.
that was who that question was from. No, I lied. That question was from Voice of Reason from our Discord.
Yes, that was yeah. for that.
Yeah. The next question we just got on Instagram right now is from Noah PL3, which is, what is your favorite class?
I mean, that's a big question, Noah. From a utility standpoint, Wizard, and it was also my first class. I really love Paladins from a thematic standpoint, and the most fun class is Bard. Those are my answers.
I gotta go Rogue or Bard, or not Bard, Rogue or Paladin. Paladin was a lot of fun.
I would also go Paladin on one hand, and the other, I really liked the Ranger I played, but probably Cleric Paladin.
Holy Rollers Podcast 2.0.
Okay, so if clerics are so good and diverse with their different domains, you could easily make a full, well-balanced party using nothing but clerics. You do that, they're all different domains, they're all different skill sets, they're all different personalities, all worship different deities. You do a podcast, call it Holy Rollers, coming this fall.
Dude, make them different colors, collectibles galore. And,
so much merch.
Dude, I call Storm Cleric. I want my old boy back.
I call Trickery Domain.
And I will be a life cleric and heal you guys once again.
It is decided.
It's done.
Dwayne, we need to go wrap this up so we can start recording that episode tonight. Like right now.
I just have like 1,000 other things to do, unrelated to what's going on.
I'll DM it right now.
There you go.
I'll DM and play.
Yeah, my favorite class is either Wizard or Sorcerer. I think Wizard by default, because you have more flexibility in the magic, but I really liked the Wild Magic Sorcerer. I love that chaotic fun. I kind of love the one time it went real good for me, and that was good. Other times it did not, but I just enjoy that. I enjoy the randomness of it. It's a good time. We actually played with
#random.
We actually played with one of my friends, one of his first times playing D&D, and he played Shane. he played a random sorcerer, and then he made a table of how he would react to things, and rolled it.
We're in combat. And it's all right, we really need to focus up, boys. This is gonna be a tough engagement. And he's rolls a d20. Yeah, I start setting the drapes on fire with my tinder box. Dog, you're not helping.
Yeah.
It was a really fun character I say fun. Sometimes it was fun to play with, but it made it interesting for sure.
It was. I definitely think it could have been played better. Maybe he did something random every time he did a wild magic, right? That he just lost his sanity during that period. That might have been a better. But it was not a great play for his first foray into D&D. But I enjoyed it. It was
ballsy. It was a reach.
Yeah, it was funny.
There's lots of. I wouldn't use any of those.
Yeah. All right. So, how would each boy react to their doppelganger, and the doppelganger of every person they've met?
Christoph would fuck it.
Yeah, Rowan would marry himself.
I would arm wrestle my dude.
All right. And what about other common NPCs if you ran into doppelgangers of other NPCs?
You have my answer.
I would assume that they are not doppelgangers and treat them as normal.
Treat them as just that that's their twin, or that's them.
Yeah, I would just be I guess you're really fast.
Yeah.
I guess you're really fast. I just saw you inside, and now we're outside.
I would determine that the other one was nice and know that it wasn't real and kill it for Christoph.
Oh
no! So my answer was a joke. But if Christoph ran into himself, he would probably play chess, and finally have a worthy adversary.
It didn't say it was smart as you; it just looks like you.
It's my doppelganger. It's a.
What does it mean? It's it's a skinwalker. That's what I imagine. Is it Is it exactly us? It's their clone in every way, or does it just look like us?
They really didn't specify more in that question. Here's the question, and then it's a bunch of rules. But listen, if they ask questions, here's what I want you to tell them.
Give them the list of rules we made, Dwayne. I need the list of rules given to that person who asked that question.
It was Lance.
It was Lance. Yep. Lance asked that question.
Lance.
You're watching this right
Yep. You'll just have to discuss
pretty
that
sure you
in the
are.
Discord later.
I don't know.
The next question is, what is your favorite NPC?
Taringa. Next question.
Mine's actually not Taringa.
It's Sinla Firestone.
It is not Sinla Firestone. I just as like rule of thumb, I refuse to pick an NPC that's named after somebody, because I feel like that would be picking a favorite
Playing favorites.
more than
Okay,
just
well-
literally.
In that case, just Garsfon.
What was the question again? Who's your favorite character?
What is your favorite NPC?
NPC.
Oof.
And we decided we're not going to pick any of the ones that are based off of people because it'll show favoritism.
Did you guys already pick? You said Justicar. Or
Yeah,
Chris, what did you say?
Madman Swan.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Devin, you're picking Ilaria, right?
I mean, that seems like an easy pick. I was gonna pick.
I
her.
mean, it should be.
It should be, because I want to pick Ilaria. Like, it's either like one of
I just
three.
can't wait for the awkward moment when Dwayne, who's Ilaria, and I have to like kiss at some point. That's gonna be great.
Scott and I got married, and it was not awkward.
Yeah, dude, I had to fucking. And the worst part was it wasn't even in game; it was downtime stuff. So it's just me on my phone at work, fucking texting roleplay marriage with Alex, my dearest oldest friend.
Yeah.
Felt
It
nice.
wasn't even
Felt
slightly
good.
weird. I mean, it's weird when you hear it, but like to live it was not that bad.
Yeah, we were both totally in character.
Yeah.
Well, and I won't say I like the new characters that we get introduced to that Dwayne just brought in. I'm very curious about the bigger of the ones that he just brought in. So that could be a potential favorite depending on how these stories pan out.
Oh, I,
But
see, I know to whom you're referring.
but for everyone, as
You're
far as
talking
we're
about Christoph 2.0.
That's right. Christoph.
No, no,
You're
no,
talking about not Christoph. But you're
No.
talking about,
No, he's talking about
you're
yeah,
talking about Woodstick, bro.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I like Captain Tyndall. I haven't had enough time to talk to him yet, and nobody's met him yet, but
Yeah.
I just think they're like alternate versions of us.
Is that what the idea is?
Yeah.
It's my doppelganger.
Yeah, that's true. So we know how you react to that, and it's not great.
I arm wrestle him.
So what was yours, Alex? What was your favorite NPC? Sorry, I missed that.
it's either Ilaria or
Simplified.
fucking. It's not Sinla. But it
That
is
was a
from-
one-time thing, and they're past
Yes.
it. Okay.
We don't even talk about it. We haven't even talked since.
That's
It's
true.
either that or Teresa.
Teresa.
That's true. Teresa's a good NPC that has not really done much.
Yeah.
He makes
God,
some
Henry
good
said-
food.
I don't know. Henry's good too. Yeah. Like that one
True.
crit 20. That was a
Anybody
good
but
setup.
Findle, am I right, guys?
It's true.
I don't have a problem with Findle. He does not molest me in any
I
way.
am getting more and more okay with Findle as the days pass.
Being in my mouth.
As he turns into a fucking mothering dragon
Drac.
and shoots
He's
laser
okay.
beams to death, I enjoy him more and more.
Yeah. Super good. Devin, did you decide on Ilaria? Is that what you decided on as your favorite NPC?
Yeah, I got to.
Other
She's
than-
almost like a character that's with us, but she kind of just plays a back role. And I feel like at some point she's gonna save our lives, but we're gonna have to lose her in the process. It's gonna break my heart. I don't know what's gonna happen when we have to part ways with her. If we have to part ways with her.
All I have to say is rest in peace, Yarg. You were not even thought of whatsoever. So
I only learned to make shovels from the man out of character.
You wept.
You
out
wept.
as we found this corpse.
Out of character. In character. He's a great mentor. He loved me dearly. Gave me a place when no one else did. Gave me a job, and just helped me to be a good person all around. Work hard. I learned a lot of things from him.
he sheltered you and had your back when you were wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, I said out of character. Devin's like, hey, bro, I want to learn to make more than like a sharp object, put it on a stick. Who even knows that they were shovels? And you guys were all just telling me they were shovels, and it may have just been like a spear. He just handed me sharp objects to put on a piece of a stick. It's like, good shovel there. And you guys were like, yeah, it's really good
they're definitely
shovels.
shovels. I'm pretty sure we used them to dig at some point. I
You
don't
can
know
use
if
a
that's
spear to dig.
canon or not. Oh, okay. So
They're really flat Warhammers, if it makes you feel any better.
This is awful thin for a Warhammer hog. Hog, I don't know if it's going to work very well. You did great. Keep it up, son.
yeah. So to answer that question, I mean, I think it's pretty easy. For me, I like Findle. Out of the characters introduced, Findle's probably my favorite. Just because he's a blast to play. Like, I just get to be as silly as I want. There's not a lot of downsides to his like abilities. But like, so the favorite NPC my favorite NPC I've created is actually one we've loosely talked about as far as like adding lore into the game.
The Grunts of Magus.
No, that's different. Like my favorite NPC I've ever created ever in all my campaigns is the grandest of Maguses. I love the concept that he like spans all universes and time, and like he just like shows up fucking everywhere. He's not gonna be in Goron. Like, he's just not. Like,
Findle.
No, he's different. It's different. They're just both casters.
He's the prime Magus.
Oh yes.
Findle is the representation of his insanity, discarded from the whole to make the Grand Magus actually a more powerful, more rational being. In the Greater Sphere, he's isolated his madness into one realm, which is Goron, which is a separate subspace of reality from the other planar systems. And that's actually why so much strife has been caused here, is because it is the central point of madness for the supreme being the Grand Magus.
Yeah, kind of. No, the other characters. So we've talked off air about like adding lore to the game and like adding some history for the listeners outside of the podcast, and the character through which I'll be doing that is like one of my favorite characters, NPCs, but we'll get to him. Alex Bonnet has a question.
Hey, Bon.
Hey, Bon.
Oh,
The artist formerly or currently known as Avon.
Didn't get that. My bad. I'm curious. You can come up with a lot of questions. Here we go. When are your characters' birthdays? Like fall, winter, spring?
March 6th.
Christoph was born on what would in our world be known as Christmas Day. The depth of winter. The darkest day of winter is when Christoph Shindo was born.
Okay. Alex.
Rowan was born in the year AR0, and I don't know. I would say he's probably spring. It's like an April baby.
Let's commit to a date. April what?
Like April 22nd.
The worst day ever. It's the worst day.
Got it. Okay. All right. So those are canon now.
It's Earth Day.
Atlas isn't sure because he's like Henry's like, I don't know how long you were laying there before we found you. It's probably 1 or 2 days different, but the day they found him was March 6th.
Let's see. What do you think your boys' aspirations were when they were children?
To not die.
To eat, to survive until the morrow, says Rowan.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So sad. You'll know later.
I think Christoph wanted his dad to be proud of him. I think that was his biggest aspiration.
I think that's Atlas. He wanted Henry because like that it was his dad by all intents and purposes. He wanted to, she was good enough because maybe he didn't feel his family dropped him because he didn't think, he was good enough, and so yeah, same thing.
Okay, and last question is...
Cats in the Cradle Boys!
What kind of stories do the players like, and or your characters' preferences?
Tales of the Arcane Wars. It's the stories that Christoph likes. Is that what we're asking? Is that the question?
I read the question. You heard the words of the question.
The kind of stories we like, and then I guess the kind of stories our characters would like.
I like super tropey fantasy.
In fact, I would like to answer this question for Shane. He loves time travel. Any form of time travel, he's a big fan of.
I do appreciate it in a narrative sense. I appreciate it. I love Back to the Future. I love frequently asked questions about time travel. I like a lot of movies and stories that involve time travel. I just think it's a shit game mechanic.
I like things that have very terrible, sad endings where nobody wins.
Like this podcast.
I like to piggyback off of that. I like stories that are so sappily happy they make you cry, like Kubo and the Two Strings.
I also like that, and Kubo and the Two Strings.
I like Kubo and the Two Strings. Those are the kind of stories I like.
I wonder if we made anyone cry with our podcast. That would be that we'd know.
If not,
reached the
we
pinnacle of our
will.
goodness.
If not, we will. The one shots are coming, and the character episodes are coming, and if you haven't felt yet, you will. Like,
and if you don't tell us.
Yeah, and if you don't, I don't know, man. Like I like got real sappy for all of those. So,
Dwayne, you ran once. It was almost one of my favorite things you'd run in a campaign was when we got to be like, I don't know what it was called, but like beast trainers. It was basically Pokemon trainers.
Pokemon.
And we got these
the Pokemon World one, yeah.
And we got to go battle in a freaking stadium with these like starter monsters against. We didn't get to play it all the way through.
Yeah.
But it was so fun. I don't know if that answers. Basically related to real world stuff, like stuff we already love.
Yeah. So basically, Devin likes fan service. Oh, Abin says they did cry. I want to know what moment was.
Yeah, Abin, tell us.
Reverse Q&A.
If it has anything to do with Kristoff, don't tell us.
I mean, it for sure has something to do with Kristoff.
It might not.
For sure. It was probably when Wendy said, "I love you." That was probably when.
Okay.
She was joking. She's like, "I love." Like when you won't like the teacher, you say it's a teacher over and over again. You're like, "I love you too."
Yep, exactly. And I think we'll have one more question.
Kristoff will take it.
Well, the last question we have is, what happened to the Lost episodes, or what happened in the Lost episodes?
That actually was a really good episode. I remember Rowan's part the best. I can't remember even my own or Kristoff's.
I have the notes if you guys need reminders.
I remember that yours was Battle School. Like, I remember all of it.
I remember all of it too.
Tell the story.
Yeah.
Which stories would you like to tell, Alex? I will tell the remainder.
You tell mine.
Okay.
And then I'll tell yours.
I'll just tell mine.
And we'll tell Devin's together.
Together, yeah.
Okay. So Alex's story was his time that he spent on a ship, and he was trying to do roguey pirate stuff, and instead, he brought two men together in love's warm embrace.
And it was beautiful. And
it was like a matter of like trying to knock down, like on one side of the hallway trying to pick a lock, made too much noise. The guy comes up from the other side. Now he's on this side of the door. And he's going back and forth until he gets like the two to come out, and it's just like,
he loves you.
Now kiss. And they did. It was beautiful.
And Kristoff's was him playing a very high stakes game with his uncle.
It was a nearby baron.
Yeah.
A nearby baron. Speaking of the proper way to rule, and made it a very high stakes game with him, and ended up winning. And the stake was that the baron had to fucking like turn in his title, like just.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was a bad guy, right? He was a bad person, and you were just like,
he was corrupt.
He was a corrupt baron,
Yeah.
And there was some cool stuff in there about like, I don't remember. There was a very, very zippy one-liner at the end, like about keeping your word. It was very good. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Lost forever. We'll never know now.
That one line.
I was just about to say, why don't you just go back and listen?
And then Atlas's was he was in Battleborn College.
And then they had a tournament that he entered into.
The Test of the Sword.
And his armor.
He was wearing his armor, thick metal plate, as he went through. He was fighting he had like a friend. He has like his friend in the school who's like, I don't know why you always wear such thick armor, Atlas. And he was like, I gotta keep myself protected. but really it was because he didn't want anybody to see that he was the full-blooded white orc.
And then he was started losing because of the armor slowing him down so much. So in a giant grand gesture, he doffs the armor to
It
fight.
took me 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Well, he exploded with rage and went Super Saiyan and all the armor flew off.
Just flew off. Unbeknownst to anyone, nothing underneath. Just bare ass fought that dude.
Just white orc dick swinging in the breeze.
He used it as a club and won.
No, he lost that.
No, I lost.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Lost to a girl who was like
She
the
was
most
strong.
formidable warrior. Yeah, she was a spear fighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
She had some reach. Couldn't do anything about it.
She messed him up pretty bad. And then afterwards, he still won in the end though, because his friend who was like, "Why are you wearing thick armor all the time?" He's like, "You don't care that I'm a white orc?" And he was like, "No, man, you're my friend." So he won the true prize of friendship.
And then I never saw him again.
That's true, and that's how he also. That's when his nickname was applied as well. That we
Yes.
never reference. Yeah.
I referenced it in like the first 3 episodes. Then it was too hard to remember his actual name, which made me feel bad because it's Devin's actual son's actual name. And then I stopped using Ghost.
We came on a first name basis very quickly.
Without
Yeah,
introducing yourselves, apparently.
Abinart actually pointed out in Discord that we never introduced ourselves to each other.
That adds up.
We were never like, "Hello, my name's Christoph Shindo. What's yours? Oh, I'm Rowan. Oh, I'm Atlas." Or they call me Ghost. Like we just heard ourselves introduced to other NPCs and just went with it.
Yep.
I like to think that was what we talked about on the journey off air.
Yeah.
But we were just so caught up in the moment. At the moment, they were like, "Yeah, let's go,"
That's fair.
even though it is not true.
Avon says that they cried when Yarg died.
Yeah, so did Devin.
It was a really good moment, and like because the other cool thing is like when we upped our audio game, I was able to like make it just silent when he was like going, and there wasn't like this like hissing or whatever. So that was really cool to just like have that moment of silence for Yarg, as Atlas like held him. I was like that was really good for me. I actually my fiance Lisa, who doesn't listen to the show ever, but supports me, kinda. Doesn't listen to the show. Like I played her that clip because I was like, "Hey, I'm getting better at this audio editing thing." And she was like, "Holy shit! Like that actually sounds like it's like professionally done." And I just looked at her like all the other episodes, and she's like, "About that."
Mediocre at best.
At best, for sure. Yeah, no, we've definitely upped the editing game for sure. If you compare what we do now to 10
To
episodes
the smoke detector beeping, it's vastly better.
That
We
is
purposely started crappy so that we could
that
get to.
is-
We already knew how to do all this.
probably my favorite part of this podcast, or certainly top 10, is Shane's one-liner during that, which I don't even know if I actually edited that out or not. Your one.
You didn't, I don't think. I think it's still in there.
Okay.
I have no idea what we're talking
My
about.
wife uses it as a timer.
As a timer. Like my wife's cooking and she uses that as a timer.
Baby,
True story.
You know it's true, and I love you anyway.
She didn't make it this far in this episode. It's too painful.
Yeah, there's
That's
no way.
true.
Right.
Hey, it's a long drive back.
That's true. All right, cool. Well, it's been real and it's been fun, but those are all the questions we have, and we went on a little bit longer than I thought, but we had a lot of good questions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
excited.
I'm sure
for the
you
next
could
one
edit
we
out
do
a
this.
lot of our fluff.
Absolutely not. Just going to cut it
No.
and send it raw to the YouTube, and the I'll strip the audio from the YouTube video that I create, and then we'll go from there. Cool beans. Well, thank you everybody who watched. For those
Thank you
of
so
who
much for
tuned
watching.
in.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
Thanks to everyone who sent in questions.
Yep. Those are a lot of good questions. I was happy with all those.
Yeah,
I was
those are
unprepared.
pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I do want to say, because we do monthly QAs now. That's part of the Patreon thing. Anyways, the next one will be organized and ran by Devin, 100%.
Great. Yeah.
So he'll be getting questions ahead of time for that and hosting it and running it. Just so everybody knows.
And then I'll do the next one, and it'll be round robin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're just
skipping every fourth person.
Yeah. So after your turn, we'll do me because I'll be the fourth person.
I'll be.
No. You don't exist anymore. You're only Kristoff, and so that makes you a tiefling, which is not a person. So like.
Well, technically we had.
Tiefling lives matter.
Shane's face.
You also think tieflings have fucking fur? Get out of here. Read the goddamn player's
Super
handbook.
Saiyan. I think it's Super Saiyan, like when they go monkey mode.
That's true. I also think that as well.
I was going back to listen to older episodes in line with the comics, and during the Fingal episode too, you're like, yeah, the fur on your arm stands up. I'm like, well, it's scales. You're like, oh, and that must have been like when it's cemented in your head, like, oh, most tieflings have fur, but because you have scales, you don't.
I don't
and then
fucking
he went
know,
on.
man. I'm gonna say something polarizing. I've just really never been interested in the tieflings as a class, or as a race.
There's gonna be a kitchen riot. You just started a kitchen riot.
I don't know,
say
man.
those words.
I don't know. They just don't. They don't do anything for me in any way, shape, or form. Like, that's why there's so few of them in the world.
Oh.
I fucked up that you genocided them because you don't like them.
They're just like, when I build characters, tiefling races are just not the first thing to come to my mind at all.
I like human. That's where I'm at typically. Is I like humans.
Yeah.
Because I am a human and I enjoy me. I'll tell you what. Myself and everyone I've ever loved has either been a human or a dog. And
Fair.
so, with that being said, anthropomorphic dog furry people would be my ideal race. Tabaxi cat people. When you gonna get some dog people love wizards? Wizards of the Coast. I know you're listening.
I mean,
Get
we
me
have
some
that, right? It's
dog
just werewolf,
people.
right? Like, it's just werewolf.
Yeah, but that's not really. That's only like sometimes the dog people.
Yeah.
I want
Isn't
to
it more of
drink
a
coffee
sick-
with a
it's not a
giant German
race?
Shepherd.
I want a furry ass, ready to yiff dog person.
So, anyways,
think that
thank
means that
you
you think that
for
means-
thank
I
you
think
for
it does.
listening. It has been a pleasure, and we'll just call it there. We hope you enjoyed episode 29 and the character episodes that are coming next.
And now that Kristoff is dead, as we have canonically established, look forward to my new character, a homebrew dog person named Sir Bow Wow. Sir Little Bow Wow.
End it now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.